Yeah, and it's funny, right? We're joking about Jenny being from the future and stuff, right? From 2036. Isn't it funny that it's 2026 right now, and we're talking about the future, and we're talking about like we just know what Bitcoin's going to do. Like it's like, oh, we just know it's going to do this. When someone asks you, and I've had people ask me this, and I'm going to start with you, Trent. When someone asks you, how do you know it's going to work? Like, how do you know it's not going to fail? Why are you so sure? Because we're talking like with damn near 100% certainty right now. What do you say to someone that has no idea, no study in Bitcoin, and saying, Trent, how are you so sure this thing's going to work?
You want the technical answer? Do you want my gut answer?
Both.
Okay, technically, it's not going anywhere. It's gone through what we on the fifth epoch, right? Fifth epoch. It's gone through ups, downs, in betweens. Nothing's killed it, and it's been tried. People have tried to kill it. Why do I talk with 100% confidence that it's not going to fail? Well, I kind of need it to. So personally, I've bought in. I see the writing on the wall. Everything looks good on my side. And I wanted to even jump off of what Backpacker said, that we need to slow down. I catch myself on this all the time. I always catch like I need to buy more. I need to go faster. I need to be done in 5 years. And it's just a bad way to do it. But I catch myself doing it all the time. So I don't know.
Nice.
It's not a great answer.
No, that was good. BTC Backpacker, what do you think, man? When we're talking about this thing like it's certain, and we're just like, oh, what's gonna? We're not even entertaining the fact that, oh, what can stop it? What not? Like, why are we so certain? And again, for the people that are out there, which is most of the population, are looking at it like, dude, I've never even barely heard of Bitcoin. How are you so sure?
We're certain because the current system's trash. And here's the thing, is most of the people that ask that question obviously don't understand the monetary system, number one. And that's okay. That's our job as educators and innovators on our end. And what we do is to help educate people or help them at least see the light. I think the thing is most people don't want to be talked at. Most people don't want to feel like they're being sold. Most people don't want to feel like anything's being pushed on them. So, the way we approach it with individuals who would ask a question like that is simply asking them the question of, how do you know the way the system works? Do you know the way that the federal government works? Do you know the way the dollar, do you know what inflation is? That to me is the number one best way to answer a question like that, or to engage in a conversation with somebody, is throw the Bitcoin aside, get on their level, talk with them about that, then figure out, because they might come out and start asking questions. When they start asking those questions, that's when there's some spark of an interest, some spark of curiosity. Then you can kind of then you can level up or peel the layers back once at a time. Now, in regards to Bitcoin, we know it's not going to fail because it's been tested for quite some time. And, we're not in, this isn't the second or third or fifth or 10th year. Now, if you ask that question to the people back in the day, in the 5th year, the 2nd year, the 1st year, I think respectfully so, you probably get a lot of uncertainty because it hasn't been around, hasn't been tested. But this thing has been tested hardcore. And the fact that we got institutional adoption, that's a big deal, because you're not going to have BlackRock and all these people. I'm not talking about Saylor. Let's eliminate Saylor. Let's talk about like the Fidelities, the BlackRocks, the TradFi guys. They're not going to be dumping all this money into something if it was a hope, wish, and a prayer. That's just not going to happen. So yeah. And because we know all the talking points, the fungibility, the divisibility, the censorship resistant, all that fun stuff. A big one is the nodes, right? You got the nodes, you created a mesh network, a security protocol, and then you have, the mining, and you have all these aspects. So there's really no weak link. with Bitcoin because it's so well diverse and so well rounded in the way it's built, and especially with the the adjustment, when you start mining too quick and everything. So that's phenomenal. So it's a little bit of everything. It's not easy to answer that with like a couple of sentences because it's so profound. It really is. But when people ask those questions, I would take it back to asking them, do they understand the way the monetary system works? And start from there, build off of that, see where they're at, where their headspace is at. And then that's when you're going to kind of set the hook. And that's where you can continue to go with conversation and stuff.
And I want to jump on that just 2 seconds.
No. Take your time. Take your time.
The decentralized part is basically its greatest strength, and no other cryptocurrency, and I'll use the word, will ever have that because there is no CEO, there's no board, there's no, voting system. The nodes work exactly. They're all decentralized. No one can shut them down. You could take, over half the system down at once and you'd still be fine. And that being said, it's made it through several governments. I'm not no official on like the United States trying to take it down, but we know the CIA wouldn't want a decentralized dollar. We know Russia banned it several times. China hates it. If the top 3 countries in the world couldn't kill it, nothing's killing it.
I agree.
Yes, absolutely. Great answers, guys.
Real quick, sorry to interrupt, Jerry. We got 517 Zat.
Thank you, St. Roosevelt. Today is May 17th.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, St. Roosevelt. Lauren Stern says something great too, and great answers, guys. Too many others needed to fail and have tried to force it to fail already, and have it fail at it as it is still here, stronger than before. Absolutely, Lauren. Absolutely, Lauren. Facts. Too many states, nations, institutions are now in. They cannot allow it to fail either. Yeah. Whoa, did TBT just use the C? He did.
Did I?
Yeah, you said I'm sorry, but
cryptocurrency. It's not the C word I had in my head.
Yeah. But yeah, everything.
I had to go through my sentence. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Wait, not that C word. But yeah, what I say to people, and I kind of have a little bit of a rehearsed little thing, but basically I tell them about my gold and silver thing and how I started, and then I said, listen, once I found Bitcoin, I said, you know how they say the saying is too good, if it's too good to be true, it is. I go, yeah, this is BS. There's no way this thing is blah 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 blah, like all these Bitcoin quote unquote crypto heads were saying. So I went and reversed engineered it, and I said, tell me, I listened to all the haters, tell me everything that's wrong with it. I want to see how this thing can be destroyed. Who's at the top? It's a Ponzi scheme. I looked at everything from a negative view, and I did that for months, right? And I heard some of the same FUD, and I said, okay. And then I looked it up, and that wasn't true. I said, okay, but why isn't it true? And I look, okay, well, that's not true because it's this. Then I said, okay, it can't be stopped so far. Then I looked, I said, why is it so good? Then I started looking at it, and like you said, the central point of failure is not there. It is not a one thing. And I'm like, oh, so nobody owns this thing. There's no CEO. There's no CFO. There's no freaking organization. This is not a head. And then the guy that came in just left it after he put it together in 2010 or whatever. He left. I'm just like,
legend.
What? Absolute legend. And he left a lot. And he
not
put,
a little bit.
Yes. And he was minding himself, and he was asking questions to this person and that person and all these things. And then when I realized, and it took me a long time, we're going to talk about that in a second. It took me a long time to go, holy shit. Like a couple of years, actually, when I came up with the saying, the best way to save, and for me, the only way to save, right, is because this thing is literally, it's like water, like Bruce Lee says. You have to be like formless like water. And when you have all these different nodes all over the place and these miners and all these people that care about this thing like I've never seen before. I've never seen people care about something like they do Bitcoin. Bitcoiners care about Bitcoin. I've seen people do network marketing and all this other stuff, But when you look in the monetary, quote unquote, crypto digital asset industry, Bitcoiners are completely different. They're not thinking about Lambos. They're not thinking about this. They come in thinking, oh my God, this price is this, then it can be that. They come in for the money go up, but then they're like, wait a minute. I can actually change the world. I can do something. I can actually save money. Not only can I save money, save my time and energy, but I can save the world. And then when you see that, like Trent said, you know, basically, I need it to work, right? And it's true. I need it to work too. And then you look at it and go, this is the only thing we have because literally it's so good that I'm not diversified into anything else. I'm looking at this thing like if this thing failed, then we fail, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather go down with the ship.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the only ship, because this is the only ship, I always tell people, all the boats in the world, if boats are sinking because they all have leaks in them, this is the only boat that has no leaks. It is a closed system. And when I found out that my gold and silver, in comparison to Bitcoin, not to the fiat that I was comparing it to, that it was actually, dare I say, the supply was a lot higher with gold and silver than it was with Bitcoin, I traded it all in. And I realized, like, oh my God, everybody tried to stop it. Like Anthony and Trent just said, they couldn't. They tried to ban it in, like he said, Russia and China in the mining. It went down for 6 months, but then it plugged back in. Every time this thing died, the obituary came out. So many, you guys know the freaking website, Bitcoin
Yeah.
Dead website or whatever.
Yeah,
love it.
it's in like the 600s.
Yeah, we need to
It's
call
so awesome.
Bitcoin either Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers or something. You can't kill it. You can't kill it. So again, when I talk about being certain about it, I know for certain that this freaking system is broken, and I know for certain that this is the only thing that can fix it.
You know, my favorite is when people call me not a Bitcoiner, and then they literally look at my whole portfolio and it's just Bitcoin. Like I don't know what else I have to do. So
Yeah, and Lauren brought this up to me too when he was here in Vegas. It's so funny that you have these people that know you for years. They've known you for years, and they'll, they trust you. They know what time it is with you, but because someone on TV told them about Bitcoin, that it's a scam, and that you not only are telling them to buy it because you actually love and care about them, but you have the proof of work and you're showing them that everything I have in my savings is in this thing. Remember all the stuff I used to have, my real estate, my portfolio, all these things? I don't have any of that anymore. Oh, no, it's a scam. What do you guys think about that when you're telling your friends about stuff like that and they still don't want to buy?
I try all the time at work. I don't think I've convinced one person to buy Bitcoin. Oh, sorry. My one coworker bought $22 worth of Bitcoin at $90,000, and he reminds me every other day it's still down. Like, you bought $22, man. Who cares?
I
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's crazy. Like, and it kind of just makes you like reflect off of like, if I'm convicted. People think I'm crazy. People think, they think that they just tie it in with cryptos. Crypto is a deadly, deadly, deadly word, and they just tie it into that. And but the thing is, dude, is most of the people that I'm talking to, they're doing the credit cards. I mean, not paying them off, like creating more debt. They're consumers. They don't own the house, they don't own the car, they don't own the business, they don't this. So they're just cogs in the system. And unfortunately, I've come to the point to where I'm not trying to convince anybody anymore.
Same. I don't talk about it.
Yeah. I'm staying in my lane. I'm creating my content with you gentlemen and our personal channels. And if people want to choose to partake and learn and jump on those channels and try to learn something. See, the thing is like you can't force feed anybody anything in the world. Like the people have to be willing to do it. So in the beginning, it was very stressful to me. Now I just take a step back and say, hey, at least I can say I told you so, and the rest is on you. That's it.
Yes. I use the funeral theory. You know how they say if you'll go to somebody's funeral, you need to talk to them as much as you can. If this is somebody that you'll go to their funeral, like if you live out of town and you'd fly to them to their funeral, you should stay in contact with them. Those are the people that I don't try to shove it down their throat, pause, but I do try to let them know that, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm buying Bitcoin. And just to let you know, and I'm not trying to be like on some funny shit when I say this, but I'm telling you this is a very important thing. And I think it's going to do very well. And I don't want you to ever say I didn't tell you that. All right. And I make them repeat it. I said, I'm telling you to buy Bitcoin. So repeat it to me. And I want them to say it so they don't think, oh, you never told me. No. I did tell you that. Right. Here's my last question before we end the stream. Right. Because people, me and Jor had this thing that we talk about being $1 million Bitcoin and being 1 cent per sat at the time, because it'd be $100. 100 sats per dollar and everything else. And I always say at the end of my Satoshi Saturdays that the future's on this way. The train's not going to leave the station until we hit about 1 million. We all know, guys, most people are not going to go get quote unquote rich and wealthy on Satoshis. They're just not. But they are going to have it as a good money to save in and to work for and stuff like that. Guys, when do you think, and Jen, don't say anything, and I know you know the answer because you're in the future. When do you guys think, what price are people going to, they're priced out and they can't be able to save in Bitcoin anymore? Like, to get ahead of the game. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to be very wealthy, obviously. We're not in it for the money, bro. But what price point, and think about how many sats you can get per dollar too when you answer this. What price point when they go? Because remember, we all thought we paid too much when we first got in. Oh my God, it's freaking, even Trent, he got in before everybody. You thought you paid too much. I've never met anybody that said, man, this is a steal. This is a great deal. It's always like, fuck, man, it's fucking 40,000, 25,000. This is crazy, right? What do you guys think the price is going to be or have to be for them to say, oh man, I'm just too late? And it is kind of too late.
Trent, can I guess what you're going to say? I'm going to say mine, but I just want to guess.
Absolutely, go first.
And why? And why is it? Explain why. I'm going to tell you mine too.
Well, I mean, first of all, the people have the wavelength is just way off, way different than ours. But I don't know. A lot of people say 1 million. A lot of people use the million. There's something about that extra digit or that extra, you mean that just the 1 million. I think it's gonna be like 500K and people are gonna feel way priced out.
Okay, I might not be asking this question right. Let me make sure I ask it right. Not how they feel about it. How, if they're actually too late to actually become wealthy on Bitcoin. Like,
so that's a double-edged question, though.
Yeah.
Because they won't invest in it if they don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
Well, no, because we didn't feel good about it, and we're still going to be good. I didn't feel good when I got in at 50 grand, and then it crashed down. And I thought I was late too, because I was looking at it when it was 8 grand. I was like, oh my God, I'm late. So it's not about how we feel. It's about having generational income, generational wealth in the future. When is that price point where we go, I just can't get enough Satoshis? What do you guys think? And I'll tell you my answer.
That's a tough one to answer.
I've never heard anybody ask it.
Yeah, it's the first time I've heard that, really. I think that they're going to look at the dollar to Satoshi ratio. And if they compare it, then they'll be able to have something to gauge it on. I don't know, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm not quite sure exactly how to answer that one. You stumped me on that one.
I'll
own it. Go ahead, Trent.
We've already hit it. It's an income problem. People that can't afford their bills have already hit the number where they can't buy Bitcoin. If you have heavy credit card debt right now, if you have a giant mortgage, if you have $20 to buy food at the end of the month, the number is already gone past by a mile. If you're I'll say, what's it called? My brain just turned off for a second. Like a middle income earner, like me, I'd say. That number.
You're not a
middle class.
You're not.
Whatever. Quiet. I'd say middle class people will be priced out at 300,000. They'll put it into something else. They'll basically, but can you still get generational wealth at that price range? Yes, absolutely. That's a conviction thing in it, but you're never gonna get a normie to put their paycheck into something they don't think is going to benefit them, because you're actually at that point where you're probably benefiting the next generation.
Ding, 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 ding. What an answer.
Freaking
That
killed it, Trent.
that right there is the first half of my answer.
Good.
Okay. That is for Scotty 99 is in the house. Hello,
Love you,
is this
Scotty.
the right place for jokes? Yes, it is, sir. It is. I may be looking from a different view. I started in Bitcoin at around 97K and saw it go to 123K. Now at 77,000. Don't really mind this price at all in any way.
But
Because
some people would be afraid. Some people would be terrified at that. You're down almost, what, 20%, 30%? That's a bad investment if you look at it on the normies.
But I think that like the important question to piggyback on that, because I feel like there's another part to that. And the other part is them understanding the monetary system. Like
But
they
won't.
need to, but I think like, see, for me, when I understood how screwed up this system was, then I understood Bitcoin a hell of a lot easier.
But what do
But
you
you're
think?
right.
But what do you think of the population of the world actually understands fiat at all? It's
Oh yeah, it's
a
like
fraction of a percent.
Yeah, it's like some stupid number. 100%.
Yeah, and it's crazy because our podcast is obviously the Truth of Work podcast, and the play on the words, obviously, of proof of work. And he was absolutely right. Right. The first thing is you have to actually have, number one is you have to have discretionary income to buy it. That's the first thing. It doesn't matter how much you like it or how much you study it. You have to have the quote unquote money to have it. That's number one. Then the second layer of that, like Trent said, is you have to believe in it. And if you don't believe in it and the price is too high, like if we're 22 years in, 5 years from now, we're 17 and a half. If we're 22 years in and the price is, like you said, 500, 700,000, and they're just buying it like, oh my God, $20 at that time is only going to get you, because 500,000 price of Bitcoin will get you what is it, 200 sats per dollar. That's not going to be a lot, but it's still going to be important. But the thing is, you have to have the conviction, you have to have the money, number one, you have to have the conviction, number two, but number three, in order to get the conviction, you have to study it and put the work in, and it takes a lot. And this is what I tell people.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I think is going to slow down the adoption of Bitcoin is people actually taking, it takes so much time to understand this, man. It takes a long time. I've been doing this for not as long as Trent, but I've been doing this for almost 5.5 years now, going on 5.5 years, since February 2021. And it takes a lot of work. So if you get past all that, right, I think my number, and there is a number I have, I think it's 100 million per Bitcoin. Meaning
Oof,
$1.
that's a high number.
Yeah, because here's why I think that. Because once we hit 100 million, I'm not saying people can't save in it, because by then I think it's going to be more global adoption. I think probably 2 out of 3 stores are going to be accepting it. I think a lot of people are going to be getting paid in it and things like that. But at that time, at 100 million, $1 per set, which I think, again, it's going to be exponential compounding, because the first million is going to take 22 years, 20 years, 23 years, or whatever. Then the next million is going to take 2 years or 3 years after that. Then 10 million is going to be whatever that is. And then it's going to keep doubling. So 100 million is not that far that we think it is. But once we get there, again, you're only going to get 1 sat per dollar at that time. And what is 1 sat going to get you? It's only going to get you $1 of purchasing power. So that's my number. I could be wrong.
You don't know that though, because at that point, if you think about it, Jerry, the Bitcoin never moves. Bitcoin never goes up or down. Only the dollar amount. So if Bitcoin's at $100 million, what is the state of the economy? What is the state of the fiat that things are being priced in? How much does a loaf of bread cost?
Yeah.
It could
Those
be
are
insane.
variables. Those are important variables. That's something we don't know. We can only speculate.
Yeah, the purchasing power. Because if we compound it to 7%, and that's a great point, Trent. if we compound the inflation rate by 7%, that's what everybody likes to use. It's going to be like today. I bought and I didn't even blink an eye at it. I went to Whole Foods today, and I bought a family size dinner for a family, right? Because I keep it and put it in the refrigerator. It'll last me probably 3 or 4 days. It cost $35 plus tax and everything. It was like $38 or whatever. And $38 for a couple of meals is a good deal right now. Because
But
before
it wasn't 5 years ago.
was not 5 years ago. It wasn't. And good point, Trent. It was like, and the things that are normal now, it's like a loaf of bread does cost $5 sometimes. It depends on where you get it from and what kind. Right before, they used to be 50 cents. I bought loaves of bread for 50 cents in my lifetime. So again, like you said, the purchasing power, that's what all matters.